Welcome, everyone, to what promises to be a very haunting episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. We're discussing the 2015, thank you,
10 years old.
10 years old, the 10-year anniversary of Robert Eggers' The Witch, starring Anna Taylor-Joy and the guy with the really deep voice.
Ralph Ineson.
That guy, yeah. So, real quick synopsis. A very religious family. Well, a very religious father, I guess. The family's kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
They get exiled from a town.
A plantation in like 1600s New England. I assume it's in Mass.
I assume so also. They get exiled. They move to the creepiest place you can move to. There's just forest around them. An empty field. And
they're like, this is a good place to raise kids.
Yeah, there's no hauntings in the woods. There's no witches out there. There's no demonic beings or anything like that.
All which they believe in a very literal sense.
Yes. And so they choose to settle down in a place that screams red flag and just ensues. It starts really with Thomason, Anna Taylor-Joy's character, playing peekaboo with Samuel, and Samuel...
her baby brother.
Vanishes. Yes, Samuel is her baby brother. And vanishes. Now, you see the witch take... this is something I told Joe earlier. You see the witch take the baby. Well, you don't see her take the baby, but you do see her running through the forest. And how she got old Usain Bolt-like from where Thomason was to the forest is incredible. We gotta sign her up for.
She's really fast. Yeah. Get her on the NFL. Honestly, she gets the ball. Yeah. It's over.
It's entirely too impressive. But then she takes the baby somewhere to her like Hobbit Shire home, and man, it's creepy from there. She's naked. She's brewing up some kind of potion. And she's holding a knife over the baby, and then she starts rubbing blood all over herself. It's pretty grim. This leads to basically the emotional collapse of her mother, of Thomason's mother.
Yes, Kate.
Kate, who lady from Game of Thrones, right?
Oh my God! She's Catelyn's sister, right?
Yeah, the weird
one. Lisa Aaron.
Yeah, you did you notice too? So there's a creepy part with the crow.
Yes.
She also I don't know. It made me think of Robin Aaron, basically getting fed until he was like 14 years old. Anyway.
Oh my God, I did not recognize her in this.
So that's really where that's really how things start and where things go. And I will say one of the things I really love and appreciate about this movie is just how authentic it feels. Like the way they speak, the way everything looks, the way everything feels. Initial thoughts anyway.
I mean, like you said, there's a lot of obviously research that went into this, just cursory research. Like Eggers employed like carpenters who were like very familiar with like colonial housing and stuff like that to try to get this cabin is going to look as real as it should, and obviously did a lot of research. The film ends with like a title card explaining a lot of the dialogue was taken from accounts of this and folk tales and all that. So it's something I like right off the bat in this movie is how it's not clear exactly what the family has been exiled for. The father clearly had some sort of religious schism with the community, but we're not really privy to what it was, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
And I find this movie kind of does that a lot. It feel like it withholds a lot about this family,
Oh yeah.
and they're withholding a lot from themselves as well. They're a very repressed group of people, and
Yeah.
isolation when you're repressed, not exactly a great combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a really great movie. This is the second time I saw it. I saw it back in probably like 2018, 2019. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't understand a word they were saying. They speak in like in old timey English and have pretty strong accents throughout. So
Yeah.
I was just like, what? But watching this with subtitles this time, different experience.
Yeah.
So I gotta recommend the subs for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had seen bits and pieces of this movie, but I'd never watched it in its entirety. So this was the first time where I watched it from start to finish. What I appreciated was that there were no jump scares, which I hated because a lot of times jump scares are not done well enough. Like one jump scare where I think it's done well in a movie is if you've ever seen The Others, and there's a scene where the mom is like going in this room where everything is covered up, and she thinks it's a person, but you see that it's actually a painting of like a man's face, but the way that sort of jump scare is done, it's done very well. It makes sense also, because a lot of times jump scares are not really done well. Like a lot of times you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would that happen? And what I did like is that he doesn't rely on jump scares. You don't see the witch very often, which I think adds to the menace and sort of the eeriness of the entire setting, because you get glimpses and pieces of her. Well, there's actually more than one. But you don't see them all the time, which I also appreciated, because it's often what is unseen that is a lot scarier than what is seen. So I did appreciate that. I also loved that he kept the dialogue authentic to the time period. So you believe these are people living in this time. The way none of them look overly polished. I appreciate that as well. And overall, and also the atmosphere that he captures. Like one of the scenes I liked is when they're first leaving the town or the village, and it's a I can't think of what the term would be, but you're seeing them almost from above as if they're being
Bird's eye
observed.
view, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the vastness of the forest before them, and they're slowly shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And it really does lend yourself to that feeling of extreme isolation, that they're entering the unknown and there's no way of guaranteeing what awaits them. So I liked that, like one of those first opening scenes of the movie, the way it was shot.
Yeah. I think it does such a good job of kind of capturing an unsettling tone, even when things aren't unsettling. Like even when it's just Thomason and her brother like sitting there talking by the water and stuff like that, you almost feel like there's just like something else kind of lurking. And then obviously when Samuel disappears, the entire movie just kind of like devolves into this just panic's not the right word, but like this like constant fear. I like the scenes where what's the brother's name? Caleb. Where Caleb and his father are like, like Caleb's basically being like he needs to step up as an adult, essentially, and start providing for the family and stuff like that. So he's, Caleb, I feel like is starts taking it upon himself to try and find his brother, and he's hunting for food and everything like that, which is when Caleb runs into the witch herself, which is a pretty creepy scene in and of itself. He runs into, let me tell you, she does not look like this when she's rubbing the blood on herself. She looks good in his eyes, I guess. I don't know. She must be like putting some kind of spell on him, or she has
It's the blood.
She has a great skincare routine.
It's the blood.
That must be what it is then. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's the blood. That's why she targets the baby, because he's youthful, and the blood is what rejuvenates her and gives her youthful appearance.
So that's what they were going for in Hocus Pocus, right?
Well, yeah, with Hocus Pocus, yeah, it's them absorbing like blood is a think of it as a life force. In Hocus Pocus, they're absorbing the literal spirit and life force of the kids, and that's what grants them their youth.
They really do. The Sanderson sisters really doing this back in the day.
Yeah.
This could have been them.
It
We
could
don't
have
know.
been. If Hocus Pocus took a much darker
Yeah,
tone.
this could have.
Well, what I liked about basically the way the witch approaches Caleb, which shows that she and her coven have been observing them, like intimately observing them, because Caleb struggles with lustful thoughts towards Thomasin, and sort of his acknowledgement that there's something not quite right with the feelings that he's experiencing. And the way the witch approaches him, she's highly sexualized in her demeanor, also like the way she kisses him. So the witches are preying on all of the fears of the particular family members or their desires. What I liked, one of the themes of like desire, whether it's desires of the flesh or earthly desires. So like with Thomasin, she constantly references what their life used to be, that they had a home. I don't know if they were supposed to come from money. I mean, she doesn't know how to read and write, which may have been not too uncommon for the time. But like the fact that her mother had a silver cup led me to believe that they would have had money of some kind and maybe became impoverished.
Even on the plantation, they at least had a community.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems like the dad's a pretty intense Puritan, so he's probably all about casting off material wealth, I'd imagine, and he's sort of led them on this terrible quest.
Yeah, and I you mentioned how we don't really know what they were exiled for, and I kind of think like I every time I've watched it several times, and every time I watch it, I get the vibe that the I want to say the village people, but you know what I mean, the townsfolk.
Yeah.
They don't want to exile him.
They pretty much tell him like, "Hey, if you just admit you did,
Yeah.
you've been kind of going crazy. Like you're fine."
Yeah, but his pride, which that's one of the 7 deadly sins, right?
Yeah.
Got to learn that. Come on, his pride basically like he puts them in this situation, and then the fact that that damn cup, the fact that he throws his daughter under the bus.
Yeah, he steals the cup and sells it, and then he lets Thomasin take the fall.
Yeah.
Until the mom's like gonna murder her for being a witch.
Yeah. Let's talk about those two little. Brother and sister.
It's crazy to me that they're like Thomasin's clearly the witch. Meanwhile, there's these little twins running around who are like goblins, and they're like, "Go talk to us."
Yeah.
I think it might also do like when the mother, like when there's the final confrontation and she basically states that she's aware that she was beguiling her brother and her husband. So I think there's an element of jealousy in it because Thomasin is coming into her youth. In fact, the mother's emphasis that she's menstruating, that we need to get her out, that, she'll have a home of her own. So I think in the mother's eyes, which is a very real thing, it's sad to say, but there are mothers who are jealous of children, daughters, or whatever.
Yeah, and two, people are not meant to live this isolated. They are not meant to only see 4 other people ever. Like you're gonna go crazy and have weird thoughts, and it's no wonder Caleb is like having the worst puberty of all time. Right. There's nobody around.
And also like if you think about Puritan, and also it's like Calvinism, which when I was more religious, that was sort of the brand of Presbyterianism we adhered to. So, like, the constant fear of damnation is a very real thing in Calvinism, because in Calvinism, no matter what, you're damned, which goes contrary to what Jesus died on the cross for. But the idea that you're never
it's all
good enough, that you cannot know whether you're damned or not, and which is a horrible doctrine in and of itself, but especially in this time, to sort of live under, like, Caleb's constant fear, and even for poor Samuel, because he's unbaptized, that he could be like burning in hell right now.
Yeah, and
so it's,
when
yeah.
Caleb brings this up, William, the father, is just like, don't talk about that. Like, because, like, this is the exact thing he probably preaches. This is the thing that he's built his life around. But, like, it makes him uncomfortable that it's having negative effects on his children, but he can't admit that. So it's like,
Yeah. There's even a point where, their crops are all dying and everything like that. And I thought one of them said, like, maybe we can try to go back to the town. Like, at that point, like, your son has been abducted. Like, your family's going to starve. Like, get rid of your pridefulness. Like,
Yeah.
go back.
At one point, he does, like, resolve that, like, where he's like, all right, I'm gonna bring Caleb into town to the doctor. He'll let us know if this is physical or if this is spiritual.
Yeah.
So, like, he still is willing to, like, interact with people. So it's like, come on, man, just suck it up.
Yeah. So after Caleb's interaction with the witch, he becomes sick, and that scene is harrowing. How that kid, the actor, memorized that it like blows my mind. Like, that's like real acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can barely remember like my lunch order. You know what I mean? Like, I have to write it down when I'm ordering a sandwich. You know what I mean? And this kid memorized that whole biblical monologue. It was pretty epic. And then it's an apple, right? Isn't it like an apple that's removed from his mouth?
Because he kept talking about trying to find apples for them. They hadn't seen any since they moved to the colonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just I guess the whole thing is like, I think Wikipedia. I read it on Wikipedia, and they were talking about like, like the family has like evil surrounding them and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But his death didn't seem like it seemed like he
goes out peacefully,
right? Yeah. So he wasn't, because the rest of them don't. The rest of them have pretty gruesome deaths.
Oh God, there's obvious apple imagery. I'm silly. They talk so much about original sin in this.
Oh yeah, fair.
So like, I guess him vomiting the apple is sort of like being cleansed of it before his death.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
I think he was also one of the few, I think, that was truly, I think, devout in the sense, and also I think in spite of the shakiness of some things, I think he was one of the few, because I think the reason why the witch is able to do what she does is because she's preying on what's already there. So the father is already prideful. The fact that he doesn't consider his family, well, first of all, his wife would have had no choice. They would have had to follow him regardless. So he's not considering their well-being, emotional, physical, psycho, whatever, The wife is visibly unhappy, but she can't necessarily express that because he's the head of the household. But at times, like, the civility slips where she says, I miss England. I miss my family. I miss my home. And he's like, oh, well, life will be better, over here. It doesn't matter. Like, we're going to make it through. So there's already the pride, I think the envy, the resentfulness, Thomasin sort of the desire to return to what she knew, her restlessness. She's obviously, I think, longs for something more, but she's constrained.
Yeah, definitely.
The son, I think, probably, I would argue, I keep on forgetting to mention the Terror twins, but they're, because it's really, and I think, so I think the son, Caleb, was probably one of the few where, in spite of his weaknesses, I think also had faith, which is why I think at the end he is able to overcome, and he dies, not peacefully, because his death is horrific, but he comes to peace with himself, and he's able to overcome whatever influence the witch has on him. I honestly thought when he starts talking that he was going to condemn Thomasin through like the fact that the witch had a spell on him. But even like the
No, just the
yeah.
twins do that because
Yeah.
I don't even think that was Black Phillip's doing. I think that was just them.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%. They're just little monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It's like early in the film, after Samuel goes missing, the twins do something really annoying to Thomason, and she feeds him a line of nonsense where she's
Yeah.
clearly messing around and saying like, "Oh, I'm a witch. I did it," and all that just to scare him because she's like, "I'm so tired of these little gremlins."
Yeah, which you can't blame her.
Yeah. And so later on, they're like, "It was Thomason. It was her."
And so after when Caleb passes away, the little trolls
We
they
haven't
start.
even talked about Black Phillip.
We have not talked about Black Phillip.
Yeah, they have this black goat who's just really a problem.
Creepy looking goat.
And
Why anybody has goats? Like, I understand
cute.
milk. I get it.
They're cute.
not Black Phillip.
He's not cute.
I think he's adorable.
And the twins are obsessed with this goat and constantly sing songs about him. And that's weird.
Yes.
Right? And like everyone's just like, okay, I guess that's fine.
Well, if you like, it's funny because like when you first hear them, they're singing this creepy nursery rhyme. But if you think about it, a lot of nursery rhymes are very creepy. Like if you think of Ring Around the Rosie, it's about the Black Death and dying. The Muffin Man is about a serial killer that killed people and put them into muffins.
Wait, really?
Yes.
No, it's not. You're
Yes,
lying.
I'm not lying.
I don't
What
think
serial
that's
killer?
true.
No, it is.
What
yeah,
serial
it's,
killer?
It's the rhyme is associated with this alleged man who was a serial killer in Drury Lane. It says, "Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man who lives on Drury
I'm
Lane."
not seeing anything.
I know that there's a alleged link between the two, and that there
I
was
think this
a
is an
serial
urban
killer.
legend.
Is it? I thought it was actually like they said it that it there was an actual serial killer, and
You know how
that's
you
where
asked
the
me
rhyme.
if I liked
comes-
muffins? I would not want a muffin like that.
Yeah. So like
No, okay. It's just Drury Lane was apparently a crime-ridden area, but
I remember reading somewhere like
I'm-
I can try to verify it next time, and we can put a
featured
disclaimer.
in Ripley's Believe It or Not. Okay, wait, let's see.
If I'm wrong, I'll issue a disclaimer. But I remember that sort of being the origin story of where the nursery rhyme came from.
Whenever I think of the Muffin Man, I think of Shrek.
Yeah.
Okay, it's urban legend.
It is urban legend?
The urban legend is there's a killer named Frederick Thomas Linwood, but according to Snopes, no proof he ever existed.
Okay, so you can just write disclaimer.
That's how serial killers want you. That's what they want you to think, though, that they never existed.
We'll go with that.
So, hey,
But,
could happen.
Yeah. But yeah.
So the little gremlins. They
Mercy and Jonas.
Is that their name?
Yes.
After Caleb dies, they don't they pretend to like seize out themselves, like they're pretending to do what he's doing, right? That's not actually happening.
I don't
to
know
them.
if they're necessarily pretending, because I think they definitely are under the influence of the devil and the witches. And like I said,
Because I just thought they were afraid of getting in trouble.
no, I think they were genuinely also under the influence, and they seize and they do kind of go into a temporary sort of comatose state.
Okay.
But also, if we go with the fact that they're playing, during the Salem witch trials, but also mass hysteria. There's also some science behind it where everyone starts to act out. You can actually manifest wounds or scars or whatever. There is a phenomenon like that, and that was happening during the witch trials. I think whenever you generate mass hysteria, that's what happens. So technically, I tend to believe that Mercy and Jonas, in spite of, yes, they are highly annoying, but if they are under the influence of the goat, it makes sense now, because his whole purpose is to eventually isolate Thomason completely and get her for himself.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt as that they were also under the influence, because the way their body contorts, that I think they were experiencing something, and they get knocked out for a whole day or something.
Yeah. So after that, Father Deep Voice gets he gets annoyed with all his children. He locks them in the the shed or the barn or whatever
Yeah.
with the damn goats.
Look at the evil goat.
What are you doing, dude? So, I think Thomason falls asleep, right? And then she wakes up, and she wakes up to see, or maybe the two little brats see him too.
Mercy and Jonas.
Yeah, maybe they see the
Yeah.
witch too.
Yes.
So they see the witch
They're the
eating
ones
the
that see her
goats,
first, yeah.
and then you don't see it happen, but you assume that she also
gets the twins.
gets the twins, or eats them. You know, which wouldn't that have been great to see that? And then so Thomason wakes up. The Father Deep Voice finds William finds the shed kind of all torn to bits, and Thomason has blood all over her, and she wakes up, and that's when Man versus Wild happens.
Like Philip just stabs him with his horns. That's it.
He murks him. I mean, it's kind of a wild scene. I wonder if they used a real goat for it.
Well, the goat was very problematic on set. He did a lot of, he was a very problematic goat.
They said he was goat.
Yeah.
Just causing problems and hitting people.
He's getting into character. That's good. I'm proud of that goat.
We haven't mentioned the creepy rabbit.
The creepy rabbit.
Oh yeah, there's a hare they try to catch early on in the
With the
woods,
creepy
and
eyes.
it just like traps don't seem to work on it, and then it shows up in the shed as well.
Creepy eyes.
Oh, I forgot about that. So
Yeah.
do we
Brown,
think
creepy-eyed
who
rabbit.
do we think the rabbit is?
The witch.
The rabbit's the witch?
Or the devil in a different form. It's, it's something scary.
Not a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
That's
It's either
fair.
the devil or his one of the two.
Yeah.
And the creepy crow.
So William, the crow. Oh, I hate that scene. Oh, I can't stand that scene. I mean,
Peck,
I
peck.
don't hate it in terms of like I think it's a very powerful imagery, and I think it's a very good scene. It's just it is.
Peck,
I mean,
peck.
how do they do that? Like how? Like it's so.
Peck peck.
Yeah. Oh no.
And then Kate wakes up and she's like, "This is all your fault, Thomason," and calls her plenty of awful things and
Yeah.
accuses her of leading the whole family to ruin and tries to murder her daughter.
Yeah.
And Thomason, reacts in self-defense and has to kill her mother.
Yeah.
And after that, she takes off her tight corset and goes to bed for
Yeah.
a little bit.
And that's when she meets Mr. Sexy.
Yeah, and this is probably the best scene of the whole movie.
I love his voice. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Because up until this, I mean, there's a witch, but I don't think you really know the extent to which things are happening.
Yeah,
So-
how much of this is real? How much of this is in their own heads?
Yeah. So when Thomason kind of pleads with Black Phillip to talk to her, and then he finally does, it's creepy as all hell. And then she basically signs her life, maybe not her life, maybe her
In his
soul.
big book,
Yeah. Over to him.
which is very much taken from folklore around witches.
Yeah.
If you look into the witch trials, they often said about like, "Oh, I saw them. They're signing their name in the book."
Yeah. And then she, kind of like, much like we usually saw the witch naked when we did see her, and much like the witch, Thomason sheds her clothes, which is basically, I think, shedding her beliefs and or not her beliefs, I guess, but shedding her, like who she was, and is becoming now this witch, I guess, and then walks through the woods and sees the other witches all naked dancing around. And, for most people, you think, oh, great, a naked dance party. That sounds great. This is a creepy naked dance party. They're dancing around a fire, and then they start floating away. And that's how the movie ends. And you're just kind of left with your jaw open, being like, what the hell just happened? Again, not the kind of naked dance party you want to go to. Or I want to go to, at least. I don't know about you guys. But yeah. And
But yeah, it's because Thomason finds liberation but not escape.
Yeah.
You know, she's still trapped in this terrible matrix.
Yeah.
But just on the other side now.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And that's a great way to put it. Yeah. Liberation but no escape. You're kind of like you're trapped by something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an excellent way to put it.
Yeah, and she'll be able to taste butter now. But
Yeah.
That's.
Oh yeah. Oh man, his whole dialogue in there is just so. Even the way he says, doesn't he like, "The taste of butter."
Yeah, his pitch to her is, "Would thou like to live deliciously?"
Yeah.
Right. That's
deliciously.
Yeah. Which kind of sounds like a Taco Bell ad in a little bit. He would be great. They should. Instead of the dog, I know the dog hasn't been in ads for like 20 years, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They should have Black Phillip.
Come and live deliciously.
Live Moss.
Yes.
Wouldst thou like to live Moss?
Yes. People would be like, what the hell is this referencing? Oh, man. That'd be funny. Honestly, like, places that have goat on the menu should consider this like as advertising for them. Like I don't know what's the place that has goat. Jaipur, the Indian place. They should put the picture of the goat and be like, live deliciously.
Goat is kind of amazing.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
it's
I had goat curry, like Jamaican style, for the first time, like a few weeks ago. Oh my god, it like blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is Jaipur?
It's good.
Okay,
Yeah, I haven't
go
been to the
there.
one up here, but there's one in
Oh,
Briarcliff.
there's two. That's usually a good sign, though.
Yeah.
If a restaurant's two locations, it's like, okay.
Yeah. I assume they're related, but they might not be. But
Okay.
But the one in Brewster's supposed to be great up there.
Yeah, I pass by it all the time, and I'm always like, wow, that looks gigantic.
Yeah. That's on the list.
Yeah, some local talk.
Yeah.
If you're a fan out in North Dakota.
Yeah.
This doesn't-
Sorry for our large fan base in North Dakota, but yeah. So I guess you guys want to do final thoughts and ratings. Were we rating it out of Black Phillips? We're rating it out of Trolls. We're rating it out of I don't know, creepy rabbits or whatever you guys want. We could rate it out of witches. Let's do witches.
You pick. Yeah.
Witches. Let's do witches. I'll bat lead off. I think this gets a 5 out of 5 for me, just because. I mean, it is very creepy. I think even upon watching it again, watching it over like multiple times, while it might not be scary, I'd say for me it's uneasy. Like there's a tension throughout that even on rewatching it still exists.
Yeah, there's an amazing atmosphere to
Yeah.
this. Like,
yeah, and did I say it already? The authenticity, it's just the lengths that they went to. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like during filming they lived in that cabin. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
I hope not.
Yeah, me
It
too.
looks
Because that
terrible.
would suck.
Yeah, I hope they had trailers.
Yeah. But it just felt so authentic to
It's
watch.
crazy. This was filmed in Canada, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's expensive to shoot in the States a lot of times. So Canada gives like really good tax breaks. So.
Oh, that's nice.
But he was like going nuts for a while trying to find a place because he was like, none of these places look like New England. And then eventually he was just like, they ended up filming it in like the middle of nowhere in Canada. He was like, this is perfect. And I think there's a quote from him where he's like, yeah, the nearest town made New Hampshire look like a metropolis. Like,
oh wow,
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so just excellent. If you liked this, I would check out some of Edgar's other stuff. He's the one that did Northman, right?
Yes, he's done The Lighthouse, The Northman, and Nosferatu.
Yeah,
the most recent one.
Yeah. I really enjoyed The Northman. Especially is that the one where they're playing football with people's heads or something like that?
Yeah, they do Viking sports and they just kill each other on the field, and you're watching it and you're like, this is not a sustainable culture.
No,
like,
you're also like, why would anybody play this sport?
Yeah,
my goodness,
that movie's great because
Yeah.
they're just crazy in it. There's a bit early on where like they're just like walking, they're like just barking at each other and like farting all the time, and you're like, what?
Yeah, it's also Anna Taylor-Joy in The Northman, and the scene where if you have to cut this, I'm sorry, but the who's the actor?
Skarsgård. Right?
Yeah, Skarsgård. There's the scene where they're getting to know each other very well, and me and Louisa went to see this in theaters, and the scene is like extremely realistic. And Louisa goes, "Oh," I'm like, "Hey."
Two things about that movie. Skarsgård is like distractingly jacked.
Yes,
like the traps on him are like look like they're gonna explode.
Yeah.
And you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
Chill.
Reasonable reaction.
Yeah.
And then there's an amazing scene in it where he's like getting something from like this like this like cave or something. And there's like a skeleton there, and there's this like crazy scene where he's like having a sword fight with the skeleton, and then it cuts and you realize, oh, he just imagined it. He just thought like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I had a sick sword fight with it?
yeah, excellent movie. So if you like this, watch Northman.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. It's, I think, a movie I would definitely watch again. I also like the only other I've seen The Northman, which is a very trippy film. I've seen The Witch. I've seen Nosferatu, which I really enjoyed. I'm looking forward. I know he's working on a werewolf movie.
Yes, werewolf, and it's like he's doing it all in Middle English, I think.
Which I love. I love that so much. If I have to watch subtitles, I don't care. I just love when people bring that authenticity. I saw some like snapshots of like the set, and it looks dirty and grimy, which is how everyone portrays the Middle Ages, unfortunately. So, but whatever. But it's looking like it's going to be such a wonderful time, and like we haven't seen werewolf films in a while, I think.
Yeah, there's that Wolfman movie, but everyone was like, yeah, it's
that
really
was
made.
terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
with Julie Garner, the one from Ozark. She was in it. I forget who the werewolf guy was.
Yeah, but like
that's the one with Benicio del Toro. Right?
No. That
liked that
This
one.
one came out like last year or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember like one bit in the trailer I thought was interesting was like, oh, the werewolf has like crazy hearing, so like sound is like demented to him and like hurts him, and then it, like apparently they do it for like one scene and forget about it, and it's like that sucks.
Wow. So going back to this movie, 5 out of 5. I think if you enjoy atmospheric horror, then you will love this film, because that's what this is. It's atmospheric horror. It's the whole notion of how like fear itself can be just as devastating as any actual horrors, which is what this film is also about. Like you're succumbing to your fear, to your irrational sort of thoughts. Yeah, 5 out of 5. It's a really good movie.
And you already mentioned it, but you talking about atmospheric horror, and I struggle calling the movie I'm going to say horror, but the others, you mentioned it. I mean, if you really like atmospheric horror, the others really is an exceptional movie. That's another one that like even upon rewatch, you might not be scared as you were the first time, but you're uneasy.
I don't know if this is a spoiler. The film is, but I'll say spoiler just in case you haven't watched it. So spoiler.
Shut it off now.
Like even the reveal, I'll just say the scene with the big reveal. So if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I won't risk spoilers. And like I've seen the film at least conservatively 3 times, but when that scene comes on, I still get chills, even though I know what's going to happen. Chills, because the way it's delivered and the pure shock of that moment. It's sort of like when you've watched what's M. Night Shyamalan?
Sixth Sense.
Yes. Even though I've seen The Sixth Sense and I know what the reveal is, it still gives me chills when the reveal is revealed, although some people claim they knew already, which
those people are lying.
well, I guess they were saying that, I guess if you pay attention hard enough, you whatever. But anyway, like, that's another great atmospheric kind of film. Or but yeah, like, even though, like, you know what's going to be revealed, chills every time.
Yeah.
The Others is a fantastic movie because it also plays on the same thing. It's about a family who's isolated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Takes place during war, so the uncertainty of what's going on. They're in a big mansion. They don't really get any contact with the outside world. So the isolation itself is a aspect of the horror that they experience. So yeah, definitely a really good film. Yeah, I love that film.
Have you? If I've mentioned this before, you guys can stop me before I even get into it. But there's a comedian, Nate Bargatze, and he does a thing about The Sixth Sense, and he's like, we all thought we were all more convinced that this guy's wife didn't talk to him for a year.
Oh yeah.
Than him actually being dead, and then he's like, and they show you it in the first scene. They show you him dying, and we still didn't believe he was dead.
Yeah.
There's a.
But I thought it was still done well.
Oh, no, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I always think of the 30 Rock bit where Tracy's like screwed everyone. Is like, I finally figured out the ending of The Sixth Sense. The names on screen are the people who worked on the movie.
It's great.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 goats for me. This is a fantastic film. Like, come on, check it out if you have any interest in horror or folk horror. And my recommendation is okay. You stay with me here, folks. It is a BBC television movie or play for today, as they called them over there, from the 1970s, called Penda's Fen, directed by Alan Clark. This is on YouTube. You can look it up right now and watch it in like 4K. All right, this is one of the craziest pieces of folk horror I've ever seen. It's set in like this like tiny village in England, and it's this kid, this teenage boy who's like got these very, very like traditionalist views, and like to the point where like his pastor father is like, well, maybe you should chill out a little bit, and like it's just like it's him coming to terms with like his sexuality, his background, and like England having this pagan past, and like there's a lot of crazy stuff in this movie. Like there's also all this weird stuff about there's like this government facility in it, and like we don't know what's going on there. We never really find out, but like I don't know, it's crazy. Check it out. Like I cannot recommend it highly enough. It melted my brain when I saw it like 2 months ago, and like I have not been able to stop thinking about this movie. Penda's Fen, Alan Clark, written by David Rudkin. Check it out.
Cool. So I think that's the end of our folklore series, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been.
Is it? Wait, is it?
Is it? I don't know. Actually.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we did the Goblin thing, we did Orpheus, and we did what was yours?
What was mine?
We just did it too.
Like
it was like 2 or 3. Well, no, we've been taking breaks in between episodes, folks. A little inside scoop there.
Yeah.
It probably is. I legitimately have forgotten what I picked. I'm sorry. Like I was like, did we? Yeah.
We had.
Sorry.
We talked about this.
What
was it?
What did we just do? Maybe I wasn't there.
Oh my God. Corpse Bride. It was Corpse Bride.
Oh, I was not there for that one.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, we hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Stay tuned for our next series, which is going to be even better. Guaranteed. See you then.
Bye.